Hey everyone, it's Mike, otherwise known as Sinister Moon, and today I want to talk about probably the biggest chunk, actually, yeah, the biggest chunk of games in my collection here. It's kind of a combination of second, third, and fourth gen cartridge based games. I don't have my Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, Famicom, and a few, NES, like some other games represented in this, but this is the biggest chunk of my collection here. I put the shelf together myself. I had Home Depot actually cut out the wood for me, and I just screwed it together with wood screws. It wasn't that complex. It's probably about $50 of wood or so. Either way, let's dive on down into it. We'll start at the top here. You got a couple double-ended cartridges. Here's a rare game right there. And you got the entire M Network collection with, I think there's a couple label variants in there. I would like to get the whole collection with the white labels as well. And then you got the Starpath Supercharger. Got a couple boxes there, which we will talk about later, maybe. And here's my Mattel Intellivision collection. I organize all my games by manufacturer or distributor or whatever, publisher. Yeah, publisher, that's it. Either way, and I also color code the labels. There's He-Man over there. You got the white labels here. And there's a lot of very expensive games in this section of my collection here. Stadium Mud Buggies, very expensive game. Well, not very expensive, but it's pretty expensive for a loose cart. And Body Slam Wrestling is also pretty expensive. And there's the most expensive, most valuable Intellivision cartridge. That's Spiker Pro Volleyball there, Super Pro Volleyball. And there's what the game store that I bought it from was asking for it. I traded a bunch of N64 games and some other various crap in, and yeah, it worked out. Like, we made an even trade, and like, it was totally worth it to me because all the stuff that I traded for it, I maybe paid $50 for, and so $50 for one of the most rare video games in existence, yeah, that's totally worth it to me. And we got some other games. Diner there, which is Burger Time 2. Really great game. There's Super Cobra. That's an expensive game. You got a bunch of iMagic games there. And your Activision games. And then I got overlays. I have a lot of original overlays, but I also have the reproduction ones from the Intellivision mini console. And then I also have the flashback, I should say, mini console. Same difference, right? I also have the overlays that weren't included that you had to order off of the Intellivision Productions website. So that's pretty cool. There's some Gameboy games. I just kind of stuck them in there for now. And then I got this left cartridge game, which is super duper fun. I love left cartridge. It's just super. I got to make some labels for my 8-bit Atari games, obviously. Here's a pretty good game right here. I like this game. Shamus, whatever it is. It's a shmup. It's fun. And you got those guys there. And then we go into my 2600 collection. I have a lot of complete subsets, but there's some that are super hard to complete. That's complete right there. And then you got the complete Sega subset right there. Up and Down was a expensive game. You got the complete... got this is complete, and that's complete. And then you got your text labels. And you got your red label here. There's some really great games right here. I admittedly have some doubles, like that red label Donkey Kong. I had to pick that up, and then it turns out, it looks like I have a couple there. So I'll have to figure out which one is better and get rid of one. because I also have the Coleco version, and one of my stickers has fallen off. One of my Sesame Street games there. I have the special controller for that, for those, and I also have the special controller for Track and Field, which is also a rare game. And we got more here. Gremlins, I believe, is on a kind of rare side now, which is weird. I think it's just because it's sought after. Atari Video Cube, rare game. And Crazy Climber, that's a super duper rare game. It's unbelievably rare. It's like a 9 out of 10 on Atari Age. This one has a little bit of label damage, as you can see. It doesn't really bug me. It definitely, the side label looks really good, and so I'm going to say that this game is in pretty damn good condition. It's probably like $100 cart or so. And we got that. We got some more games here. There's Sword Quest Waterworld, and that's this is what the game store was asking for it, $70. It's worth more than that now, and it's pristine condition. And I actually have the manual for it too, so probably around 120 or so with the manual. Definitely a super rare game. There's some Tele Games, Sears games, basically. Definitely some rare games there as well. I think Final Approach is the rare, or maybe it's Guardian. Yeah. Mogul Maniac, kind of hard to find. Or at least it was for me. Couple Threshold. It's a fun game. You got the Coleco subset there. There's Konami, missing a game. And there's US Games, the first subset that I completed. And I got some iMagic games here. I keep more than one copy of Atlantis in my collection just so I can pretend that I have Atlantis 2, which I don't. If I did, I'd sell it. There's a rare game there. And you got the Parker Brothers subset there. Getting some cottonmouth over here. I need to lay off the weed before I make videos. You got these guys. There's some rare games there. Survival Run, Tanks But No Tanks. There's the complete Fox 20th Century Fox subset. Now, when it comes to Activision, I have every single one except for Double Dragon, which I have on the 7800. Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, NES, who knows what else. The point is I have Double Dragon on pretty much everything except for the Atari 2600. Now we're into the 7800 collection here. And then there's Double Dragon. That's all I have for 7800 games right now. So I definitely got to build those up. And then down here we got ColecoVision. There's Gamester 81's game, which went up in value immensely. And it's signed by him and everything. And there's Telly Bunny, which, speaking of Gamester 81, my buddy James actually bought that for me at the Classic Gaming Expo in Las Vegas. And he actually bought that directly off of Gamester 81 and Gamester 81. Said something like, hey, tell him I say hi or something, you know. So that's kind of cool, and it's a fun game. And lots of ColecoVision games. These ColecoVision games have definitely gone up in price. I also have Ghost Blaster that I won several years back. There's a video about it, I think. It's in my ColecoVision right now because that's what I was playing last. And you got some more ColecoVision games here. Definitely quite a few. These won't be that fun to look at. These are Odyssey 2 games. So yeah, there's no labels on the top. And these won't be all that fun to look at either. These are TI-99 games. Again, with the color coding white up there. All the black ones down here. I have a lot of them. I think this is probably like the biggest TI-99 collection that I've seen in person, honestly. Like, I've seen some really big ones on the internet, but in person, I haven't seen one bigger, so that's what your mom said. Over here you got some Commodore 16 games. Or no, yes, I believe that is correct. Gorf. Definitely cool. Big old cartridges. And down there, finally, you got all the 5200 games. Well, I shouldn't say all. All of my 5200 games. There are no doubles down there. But again, not fun to look at because they didn't have side labels or end labels. And it looks like there's more Commodore 64 games down here. I wondered where the rest of them went. They were just kind of hiding. And I even got a few of these guys. If you know what those are, the, what was it, ATF? APF. Yeah, I got a few of those. It's really hard to come by consoles. So when I found those at a Goodwill, I had to pick them up. Maybe someday I'll actually be able to play them. Got a couple Jaguar games in the corner there, but I need to relocate those because I have a few more now, and I'd prefer them not to be hiding in the corner there, really. But there it is. I tried to make the video as short as I could, and it still ended up being like 12 minutes, but yeah, there it is, man. I'm really happy with it, you know? Like, I mean, what can I say? It's taken me quite a while to get to this point. I really want more 7800 games, more 5200 games, more ColecoVision games. And, you know, when it comes to Intellivision, I don't really need that many more. I think I need like 3 or 4 games at this point. Learning Fun 1 and 2 and a couple others maybe. But, yeah, and then 2600, you know, I'm mainly just focused on completing my subsets. And, you know, it's getting really hard because pretty much all the games that are left are really expensive. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching.